Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode. We have a great stream for you today. It's been a while. But yeah, sorry I'm late. There were some issues with the microphone, so just have to use the laptop mic, which is not quite as good, but it'll do. So hope you guys have been doing all right. Looks like you have, based on the activity on Twitter and the price chart and things like that. So that's really good. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. It's been about like 2-3 months since I last streamed. Been so busy doing wagey things. So haven't had much time for this. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy you guys are here. So yeah, let's get into it. What's going on in the chat? Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel, bell notification, yada yada. Oh, what's up? We got Alan. How long before ratio talk? Talking about the whole HEX PX thing. Yeah, I think there's not much to talk about anymore. I think those days have been over since the Richard Hart tweeting, "What's up, FM at Alexander? Relaxing sounds of nature. Back in the saddle. What's going on?" And Theo Sapiens. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Part of the reason why this stream is possible. And Crypto Vince, appreciate you. Big friend of the show. One of the OGs in the space. So big shout out to Crypto Vince. Appreciate you. Chad Donnerschwanz, one of the earliest viewers, reaching levels of back long forgotten and reaching levels of back previously not thought possible. Yeah. Mr. Chuck, what's going on? P-Dive, PWBTC, PEG. I don't think that's going to happen, but hey, maybe it surpasses the $1 mark. But I do not hold any of either, so, and I will not be holding any of either. We can get into that later, but if you guys want. Hex Squid, what's going on? Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Chuck. 80% off stuff I don't need. Okay. RGS, what's going on, RGS? Good to see you. Good to see you guys. I mean, I've never left. Just haven't been streaming with the frequency that I was streaming previously. But hopefully we can get a higher frequency going forward. But yeah, it's good to be back, guys. A lot has happened. If you guys are watching for the first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. There were a lot of things that were going on over these past couple months, past couple of years since I got in. So yeah, I mean, we could really talk about it. We could really talk about how things are going. When I first started the stream, inflation was at 8-9%. And there was this fear that we're going into the Great Depression because of the interest rates going up. And the S&P 500 crashed about 40%, right? So that was a very scary time. There was also an SEC investigation. So people were very devastated. But what was I saying back then? I said inflation was going to come down. You guys could see it's one of my earliest videos. And now inflation is at 2.6% was the last CPI, I believe. So obviously the talks of elevated inflation are behind us. I mean, even if there's a higher than expected CPI, we're not getting that those inflation levels we were getting at the time of COVID. It's just not going to happen for a very long time. The Fed started to lower rates, which I said was going to happen also because they couldn't pay the high interest rate because the debt was too high for that. I mean, they could pay it, but they couldn't pay it for prolonged periods of time. It's not good for the economy. Now that the now that the CPI is cooled off, the Federal Reserve is at liberty to lower inflation rates, and they started doing that. Bitcoin is at almost $100,000. And it's pretty much in line with what it's been doing since its inception with the 4-year cycle. So the 4-year cycle is intact. Yeah, and HEX is now at 2.5 cents, which is pretty good, huh? It's not where we want it to be. It's got ways to go until it goes to all-time highs, but I believe it will be going to all-time highs. And, we're due the bull market. So with all this good news, bullish price action, it was very appropriate for a stream. And here we are. So yeah, what about the SEC investigation into HEX? That was a big problem. But now we know Gary Gensler stepped down. And the arguments supposedly, reportedly went well for all the people that attended. There were some very good things. It seemed like the judge was very fair, and the case was very weak. So right now, the motion to dismiss is pending. Hopefully, it'll be granted, and things could go on as usual. But even if not, it would be annoying because there'd be a whole court case that could take years. But the ruling would be favorable, and it is good publicity for HEX. So that's really good. So everything looks bullish. I know there's a lot of price action going on with the meme coins on Pulse Chain. Do I have any meme coins? No, but it is overall probably good because it does bring attention to the chain, and ultimately it brings attention to the projects that we're interested in. So yeah, I just recently made another buy for HEX. I staked it. I am 0% liquid. And that's the only way really to make it in a bull market. So everybody that's here and that's been here, congratulations. I remember when I first got into crypto, Bitcoin was going up to, it's a long time ago at this point, but Bitcoin was going up to like 15,000 or 10,000, which was incredible at the time. And you're getting in and you have to learn everything very quickly, and the learning curve entails a lot of losses of money, a lot of chasing shiny objects, and most people for a period of time do make substantial gains, and they lose it all and they never come back. But if you don't, the experience that you've had gives you a lot of knowledge, and there's, you're really armed with the tools necessary to make it in a bull market, which is just to simply avoid trading and have a long time horizon and pick the winners. But so if you're here now and you've been here, you know all that. And all that's really left to do is wait. It's not the sexiest answer, but it's not the sexiest, thing to say, and it's rather simple, but that's really what it is. And there's no coin better to wait in than HEX, where your time horizon is long and your bag is constantly growing, which is really good. If you've been accumulating over these past couple of months, years at this point, you're sitting pretty good, and you're ready to enjoy some good returns and some good price action, and you're really ready to benefit out of this bull market, which is great. So yeah, we'll get into all that. We'll get into your comments, things like that. But yeah, that's really the overall thing. So you're on time. You're not just on time, you're ahead of schedule. And I would advise, as a not financial advisor, not to delve in the meme coins. I would advise staking. I think that's the only way to really make money in crypto. You can make money, chasing shiny objects. You probably won't keep your money, and you definitely won't get rich. The only way to get rich is to hold for 5-10 years in something that works, like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, and like HEX and PulseChain and PulseX. So that's good. I mean, that's really what's going on. I hope you guys are staked. I know the staking narrative has really, it's really not as strong as it was. I think a big reason for that is because Richard Hart has been less active publicly. People lost money. So, and also now that we have PulseChain, we have all these meme coins and projects building on PulseChain. People are really afraid to settle down, but it still works. You're still getting that payout, and the T-share rate is like closing in on 40,000 hex per T-share, and it's only going up. So it's so much more important that you put in time than money, especially in hex, because it monetizes the time value of money. So yeah, I mean, even if you don't have a lot of money, if you are young, you have a lot of time. So that is really the most important thing. And there's a lot of people talking about which project will do better, HEX or PulseChain or PulseX or meme coin on PulseChain, PDI, whatever. That conversation doesn't really matter to me because we don't know. But most importantly, what will you do better in? You're not going to do better in something liquid unless you already have a lot of money. So yeah, that's really what's going on. We could delve deeper into that. We could talk about other things. But yeah, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's been a very long time since I last been here. So it's just great to be back here with you guys on this wonderful Thanksgiving day. But yeah, we could check out the chart. I got the Bitcoin chart over here. Broke out of that channel I drew. And it's in price discovery. And I think at this point, it's without a doubt going to over 100,000. We hear talks about the $200,000-$300,000 million Bitcoin this cycle. It's not happening. It's just leave it at that. The returns diminish every cycle. And I think the last time it did maybe a 19x or something, 15x. I forgot exactly what. A little rusty here, but it's probably going to do less than that. So maybe 5-6x. I don't know. But the halving was about 8 months ago. So we got maybe another year of bull market, and the performance of the alts, the price action to the upside happens very quickly. Right now, you're at like a 4x, but all those daily percentage returns, those percentage gains start to compound. Those 8% on your 4x, and then 8%. Let's say it does 8% in a day, and you're at a 10x. I mean, that just means that much more. So things happen very, very fast in crypto, and things are happening as they've been happening. Where you have Bitcoin going up first, Bitcoin dominance going up, the altcoins making modest returns for altcoins, and then obviously Bitcoin starts to slow down, starts to lose its dominance, and then the altcoins do extremely, extremely well. So yeah, I mean, we could look at the BTC dominance. BTC, it's at 58%. Just started dropping, so that's good for the alts. But yeah, it's been going up a lot. It went up to 60%. So yeah, I mean, that's really what's going on. And then we have the halving tracker, where it's pretty much doing it's at the same point where it was in this last cycle, or in the 2016 cycle. But the 2016, so it's at about where it was in the 2016 cycle. It's behind the 2020 cycle. And it'll probably, at day 500 or whatever, at day 450, it'll probably be behind both cycles, but it'll still be up, between the 100,000 and 200,000 range. That's really what's going on. So everything's really happening as it should be. And according to that, which is no guarantee, the altcoin should start going up. But yeah, and we got the HEX chart where we're at 2.5 cents, which is excellent. You can take a look at the measurement tool. If you bought at the local low, you're up 676%. Very nice. We like to see that. Yeah, so that's really what's going on. I know Pulse and PulseX, actually, we should go to the chart. PLS. Should have had that prepared, but it's been a while. Or WPLS. Is that almost okay? So it's at 4 zeros and a 7. So it's 30% away from the sacrifice rate that it was at. Its percentage gains relative to HEX have been smaller. But usually what happens is HEX moves first and then they start to play catch up. So it's up 128% from the local low. Almost, not. Yeah, 128%. PLSX. It's close to 50% of the sack rate. So if you guys have been accumulating, you're doing all right. But we still got a long way to go. Stay active on Twitter. Keep shilling. It makes a difference. Makes a difference, for sure. Social media presence is one of the most important things that this community has going. So very, very pleased about that. HEX daily stats. Let's look at the T-share rate. T-shares staying at around 9 million. Price per T-share. Where's that? Right here. 38,227. So closing in on that 40,000 mark. And USD, I think it's for staking 1 day. A T-share is $803. Yeah. Change in current miners. I don't know if this miners thing didn't really catch on. We should just go back to stakers. I don't know the legal implications, but I think staking is better. But yeah, I mean, there has been, I guess, a net increase over the last week or so, week plus, but it's not increasing as much as I want it to, but that's because the price is still very low. So I think as people come into this ecosystem, more and more people will be staking. So yeah, that's really what's going on. I think the only way to make it is staking. It's the only way to make it. There are so many shiny objects to chase. You need a long time horizon. You need to refrain from that behavior. Even if you get into that shiny object, you're not going to get out at the right time. You're not going to get in at the right time. And there's going to be another one that comes along. So you got to stake it. You got to stake. It's good for the price. It's good for you. That's really the overall thing. And I remember when, it was like, to get like 10,000 HEX right now, it's $250. It used to be $5,000. It used to be $5,000 to get that same amount of HEX. So even if you don't have the money that you had, you don't need that kind of money to get those big stakes. So I think really the way to go is just dollar cost average. And stick it out. This bull market, you should be able to make good money, but next bull market, you should be able to get rich. If you're new here, in my opinion. None of this is financial advice, so go do your own research. But yeah, I mean, that's really what's going on. The S&P 500 is at all-time highs. The rates are going down. The cycle is in its bullish period. So now we just wait. Yeah, take profits with your liquid bags, with your PulseX, and keep staking. That's really the way I'm doing it. And it's good to be ahead of schedule. It's good to come into this bull market knowing a thing or two about crypto. Having that experience is necessary to navigate it. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. But what's going on? We got Gary J. What's up? Good to see you. Hex Muniz, what's up? What's going on from Dublin? Appreciate you watching. I don't know how to pronounce that. Thigh. Bought EHEX instead of Solana at $8. Yeah, well, don't worry about it. It's still down a lot from its all-time high. There's still ways to go. I think we're still early. What I'd like to see is Richard Hart come back. I think a motion to dismiss would be very helpful for that. And exchange listings. We need that. It's annoying. The bridge is annoying. I'm not gonna lie. So, is it an opportunity? Yes, but what really gets things to the next level is getting on those big exchanges and having that access to capital. So that's probably the biggest thing that hopefully will come to fruition this cycle. What's going on? I'm getting Johnny on the show today. Welcome back. If he wants to come, he can come on. We don't even have to talk about EHEX. And now RH Max, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, RH Max. He's killing it in the streaming game. He's streaming regularly. He's doing a great job. He is the first streamer to have me on, and I'm very grateful. And I'm a big fan of RH Max. Is the bull run finally here? I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think? Where's the fees? Buy and burn every day is going to be huge. Yeah, buy and burn is huge. Buy and burn is big. It's definitely big. Yeah, that's really what's going on. But yeah, it's nice to finally be up. It feels good, but it's not quite there yet. We haven't had that explosive action, but usually that's what happens. It goes up slowly, and then it really starts to go crazy. And once that happens, are you too late? No, you're not too late if you stake it, but it doesn't feel as good as when you get in before that. And I think that's what really is happening now. You have that opportunity to get in before that. So yeah, keep working. It's important that this community stays productive and earns money, because then you could pump the price. Then you could continue accumulating. That productivity is very good, but and stay engaged in social media. There's a lot of people doing that, and even if I disagree with the particular tweets, it's just good that they're tweeting. So yeah, and then politically with the Trump election, Trump is very pro natural gas and fracking and all those things. So the price of oil going down is very bullish for crypto. It's very bullish for everything, because that's very good for inflation. So that's really good. Trump is very pro crypto. JD Vance is very pro crypto. Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk are very pro crypto. So that's very bullish for crypto, guys. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Happy to talk about what you guys want to talk to. It's been such a long time. Oh yeah. So that's really what's going on. It's nice to see we have a good showing, 120 people, which is great. But yeah, I know that the EHEX PHEX ratio top must be in now. Why must it be in? It could keep getting worse. We haven't even hit the high gas fee point. Ethereum is at whatever 3.5K or something. What's Ethereum at? The gas fees are high, but they're not quite what they were. I mean, I don't think it's $300 to make a swap. I was buying HEX when it was $300, like to make a buy. So like you're putting in $2,000, 300 of that's going to gas. And I was doing that anyway, and a lot of people were doing that. And that was probably the biggest problem facing crypto. And they haven't really done anything about it. It's still high, and when more people use the chain, which is inevitability, it's going to get worse and worse. And that's where Pulse Chain comes in, the system state copy. So there is going to be increased use of Pulse Chain. Ethereum's at 3,500. It's not even like really close to all-time highs yet. So when that starts happening, Pulse Chain is going to become more and more prominent. And when people realize that they have copies of their ERC20s on Pulse Chain, they're probably going to dump it. Which is another reason why I'm not really so bullish on the copies. But, they've been doing very well. And, if you have gains, maybe now's the time to go into HEX, or I don't know, maybe some whale will buy up their DAI and wrap BTC or whatever. But this is absolutely incredible. So yeah, people are forgetting why Pulse Chain was created. It was created to lower the gas fees and on Ethereum, both to lower the gas fees on Ethereum and so people can use a chain like that of Ethereum with low gas fees. So yeah, I mean that is I'd say very bullish for the price of PLS and very bullish for HEX. And unfortunately, with EHEX, you can't really stake. I mean, let's get real here. So yeah, I mean, that's what's going on. Crypto Vince, just for reference, I did a 4-year EHEX stake last week at Aquay for $88. Going to get a lot worse in the coming months. Yeah, exactly. Big shout out to Crypto Vince. We got to have him on for a stream. It's overdue. Big fan of his. Nice to see you. Glad to see you're back. Okay, it's just a joke. Less than 100 subs and stream with Ben frequently. I know, right? Had less than 100 subs at a certain point. Took a lot of work to get here. But yeah, I mean, that work paid off. Now we have more subscribers and don't have to do as much work, to get viewership. And really in a position to get good viewership coming into this bull market, which is very important. It's very important to get good viewership because not for me, but it's good for the price, okay? It's good for the price, okay? Pumping your bags. Yeah. Chris Aces, what's your thoughts on PDAI? Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of said it. I remember Pepe. Pepe had some decent gains in the beginning, and then some people with big bags of Pepe realized they had Pepe and they just dumped it. So probably with Pulse Chain's increasing adoption, those PRC20s are going to get sold because people are going to realize they have it. But it is a bull market, so just things go up. So it could go up, it could not go up. I'm certainly not willing to bet on it. Especially when I can have HEX, which goes up and also gives me that yield. That yield is big. That yield compounds with the price appreciation. It's just an unbelievable thing. So yeah, I haven't been buying PLS or PulseX very heavily. Had some modest buys over the past couple of months, but it's really going into buying and staking HEX. The expectation is not to retire this bull run. The expectation is to make money this bull market and hopefully make a lot more money. Hopefully we can make some serious life-changing wealth in the next bull market, because that's the playbook. Look at everybody in Bitcoin that was successful. They either forgot about it or they had a lot of wealth previously, so they didn't have to sell. Anybody that was trying to time the market didn't make substantial gains relative to the people that just held. So that same playbook is applicable here, and that same playbook is very achievable when you have the staking mechanism. So, comparing price action at this point is irrelevant, because you're not going to sustain that price action. You're not going to sustain those gains. You're probably going to buy the top. You're probably going to sell a very low, even if it continues appreciating. And for the same reason you were so easily swayed into buying this shiny object, there are going to be hundreds of them that come at you. So just, if you've been here long enough, you understand that. And if you're new here, hopefully you learn from the mistakes that I had to make instead of making them yourself. But hey, if you make those mistakes and if you chase shiny objects and you lose a lot of money, then you'll also learn and you'll make money later on, hopefully, because you'll just stake. It's just such a simple solution. So yeah, that's really what's going on. Hex Squid mentions Hedron. You do get the Hedron also. So hey, if Hedron does well, your stakes will give you that sort of money to sustain yourself and hold. A lot of OGs were living off their Hedron for a while. I don't know if it'll have such gains in the future. Probably won't. Because most things don't. And it's important not to forget that. That's really the message. But yeah, what do you guys think? What are you guys thinking? Let me know in the comment section. But if we look here, we got Richard Hart's Twitter. He is following 0 people. 340,000 followers and growing. So here we're talking about how there's more liquidity on V1 than V2. And just snapshots, Joe Rogan, things like that. Tornado Cash founder still in jail. That's sad. You could donate on the Richard Hart Twitter page. Just a lot of snapshots. Not much else. And some legal stuff. But yeah, just having an SEC, an incoming SEC that's favorable towards crypto. Case could be dropped altogether, which would be nice, even if the motion to dismiss isn't granted. So that's really good. That is really good. A lot of good news. Hex Fetty, what's going on? Good to see you. What are you guys doing? Are you guys chasing meme coins? Are you guys accumulating HEX? Oh my gosh. I still see people on Twitter just serial tweeting about how HEX is dead, and they told you. I think at this point the way forward is not to talk about it. It's probably contributing to a toxic environment, which is not good for bringing in new onboards. Yeah. Another thing that was very prevalent in the last bull market was people were people were like saying, we have to onboard these big people into HEX. There was a big focus on, we got to get Richard Hart with this guy. We got to get Richard Hart with that guy. We got to get this guy. But as the great, what's his name? Westcott's friend, the disciple, said, it's inorganic and it's not really the way to grow. It's not really the way to develop. The way to develop is grassroots, organic, getting random people, getting anons on Twitter, getting your friends and family in, getting the price up. And then sort of once that happens, inevitably the big people come in. That's really the way it goes for any coin, and HEX is not the exception. It's the rule. So are you guys onboarding your friends and family? That's the real question. Creating tutorials on how to buy and stake HEX, which I haven't done in a while, but it's way overdue. But those are the most important things. And as price goes up, engagement increases and more people come in. And that's really what is happening. At the peak of the HEX price performance, at its peak at around, between 40 and 50 cents, that's really when Richard Hart, got onto Fox News and, sort of made his rounds. So I think it'll happen organically. I do want to see Richard streaming again. It's a big piece of the success. We need it. So I do want that to happen. But that's really what's going on. Things are growing organically in grassroots, which is great. Would like to see people narrow the scope of what they focus on instead of going into all those random meme coins. Just buy and stake. Simplicity, always trumps complexity, and it is the only way. It is the only way to get rich in crypto is buying and staking HEX. Provided price performance is positive. So that has to continue to happen. And recently it's been very positive. And you can see, if you look at your staking ladders, just, how much more it's worth. Combining the price action with the staking payouts and stuff like that. So that's really good. And it's great to see we got a big viewership, 145 people watching. So smash that like button, subscribe, bell notification. The whole 9 yards. But what's going on? Yes, do some tutorials for newbies. Should. I do have a tutorial on buying HEX on Pulse Chain. And Crypto Coffee is doing that. And that is like the most important thing that content creators should be doing. It's easy to stream. It's not as easy to set up a tutorial, but that's the stuff that really has to be done. So if I have time in the future, I do want to do it because Crypto Coffee's doing it, but the more the better. So big shout out to Crypto Coffee. He's really been working very hard, and he's been doing a lot. He's been doing the most important things, for this ecosystem to thrive, which is tutorials, because people that are new don't know how to bridge. They don't know how to use decentralized exchanges. So Coinbase listing would be nice, but until then, we need to do the tutorials. I'm thinking with coins like PDAI will bring more folks over. Many don't even know they have free copies on Pulse Chain. SEC dump will help big time. SEC dump. It's SEC dump. Okay, so this goes back to the opinion that a lot of people had that we need to, create meme coins because it'll help Pulse Chain. They've been doing that for 2 years, and the price only was dumping. And it's on the chain. People were selling their Pulse for these meme coins. So I'm not sure if people should be. I don't know. People should not be creating meme coins, but all this recent price action coincides with the bull market, which means that it's more likely due to the bull market It's more likely due to the positive economic prospects and lowering of interest rates and just more money coming into the system than people building on Pulse Chain. Because people have been building on Pulse Chain, the price has been dumping for that precise reason for a long time. But it won't. I don't think it'll inhibit the growth. I think HEX will do well irrespective of memes, no memes, building and not building. But now that it has happened, I don't think it could be that negative. It could be negative for people that are trying to make it in crypto. People that are in crypto and they're trying to make it, instead of buying and staking, they're going to buy all these projects building on Pulse Chain, and that'll probably hurt them. I mean, it will hurt them. Nobody comes into crypto and with like $100 and buys a meme coin and then becomes a millionaire. Even if mathematically, in retrospect, it could have happened, it never happens. So it's probably not bad for the price action, probably slightly positive for the price action, public attention. It's very bad for new people coming in. It'll get them into these things, and they won't be able to have that life-changing wealth that is, possible with HEX. So that would be the overall take. The take is that the meme coins might be slightly positive, nothing super significant for Pulse Chain and HEX and everything like that, but it's probably not good for new people because they're going to make the same mistakes that the old people made, when they were new. So yeah. Well, I think of it. I don't even know what that is. Bitfinesse. Big shout out to Bitfinesse. Big friend of the show and an OG. Good to see you back. Community's doing great. Happy Thanksgiving. This bowl is going to be insane. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, and appreciate you tuning in, supporting the show and everything like that. And it's going to be insane. It will be insane. And it's nice to be here now. It's nice to be here now, as opposed to, when I was here when it was like 5 cents and it was only going down. So it's nice to be ahead of schedule. Do you know this Shill Gates guy on X? Says he's been in crypto for 10 years, has contacts at exchanges, and will reach out to them to list HEX. He loves the product and the community. I did see that. I did see the hexologist, got him into it. I think that's what's so good about the social media presence is these Anon accounts on Twitter that shill coins. They're not, they don't care as much about picking winners as getting engagement. I can tell you that from my experience as a content creator. Although I care more about picking winners, which is why I don't shill alts. I can understand the temptation to shill things that you may not necessarily be bullish on because you want, clout. You'll shill it. You'll say things that you say because you want clout. Especially now with Twitter being, people having the ability to get monetized on Twitter. Now that Elon Musk is at the helm. So yeah, you have this guy who I don't know much about him. He has like 20,000 followers. I guess maybe he's been there for a long time and he has connections to exchanges. All he has to do is tweet once about HEX and get that sort of clout, like get 10 times the normal likes and retweets that he gets, to get on board. So, when people start mentioning it and they see that their likes, their retweets are that much higher when they tweet about HEX, it gets them onboarded instantly, which is very good because HEX happens to be one of those coins that are very good. So yeah, I think that's sort of the development. I mean, he saw his clout go up that much and he's like, okay, let me tweet more about that. If you're a good content creator, you're going to want to, it's not really about creating different, it's not diversifying your content. It's more about just constantly doing the same thing over and over again, using what works. And HEX works when it comes to clout, when it comes to, getting likes and retweets and thumbs ups on your videos and comments in the comments section. HEX is very good at that because the community engagement is very high. So you look at my account, it's at, right now we have 164 people watching with 5,000 subscribers. Most people that stream about random things that have 5,000, maybe they'll get 7 live viewers, but that's the power of HEX. That's the power of this community. It's not, maybe part of it is my ability, my streaming skills, but it's not really to think that, I'm getting this viewership because of myself is that would be arrogant and misguided. The reason why I'm able to get such viewership is because this community is strong AF, and that's a great thing, and that's very bullish. So that's really what's good. If you're not on Twitter, you got to get on Twitter. You need to use the hashtags. You need to get in the threads of bigger accounts and talk about it, because, that'll get them to tweet about it, and that'll get them to realize that their engagement is that much higher when they tweet about these topics, and then they will continue tweeting about it, and that will only grow things exponentially. You have like these 20,000 here, 20,000 there that get onboarded, and then they start shilling it. The effect compounds and ends up being massive, and we saw that in the last bull market, and we're probably going to see it in this bull market, provided you guys continue doing that. So it's a great thing. Big shout out to Shill Gates. We could look at his we could bring his Twitter up. We have to reward good behavior, right? Shill Gates. Yeah. There he is. He's got 23,000 followers. And like when you're in the thread of a Twitter account that has like millions, you're probably not going to get a reaction. But like if you put more of an effort for these people with 10, 20, 30, 40,000 followers, it's a lot more effective. You get a better ROI, which is what we saw. So he's been look right here, case in point. He's tweeting about at Bit2Nex official, whatever. KYC laws. So he's saying this exchange does not have KYC or whatever. I don't know. 96, HEX, 398, almost 400. So that's 4x more. What's he going to get more dopamine out of? What's he going to want to discuss? These sort of things. HEX is a scam. Okay, prove it. Just yesterday, I added Pulse Chain to my Metamask. I bridged from ETH mainnet to Pulse Chain. Once on Pulse Chain, I used PulseX Swap to buy native HEX. I received my HEX and proceeded to store it securely with my own keys. Within one hour, I already made profit. I also have the option to stay. This is great. This is great. This is great stuff. I like it. We'll give it a retweet. I urge you guys to do the same. So like when he sees this reinforces, this is positive reinforcement, positive reinforcement. 859 likes on this. So I think he got like a little pulse from Hexologist, and then he talks about PDI here. It's fine, whatever. It is what it is. And this is what Bit Finesse was referring to. Currently, I'm working on pressuring some larger exchanges I work with to list HEX and Pulse, retweet, and interact with this post to show them just how large this community is and how much the listing would mean to you all. That would mean a lot to me. So I'm going to retweet that. 3,000 likes. That's insane. So yeah, this is the sort of positive reinforcement that is necessary to grow this community. You can grow it through your friends and family. You could grow it through pumping your bags and buying, you can be on Twitter. You can also grow it through these other influencers. You can really magnify the message. So it's a really good thing. But yeah, that's really what's going on. Hex Squid, Shillgate seems to be a great dude. He made the Hex logo design. No way. How do you know that? So, thoughts on P-Dye? Yeah, I discussed that. I mean, the short thing is that I'm not buying P-Dye. I'd rather stake my Hex. But yeah, I mean, congrats to anyone that made money. I'm happy for you. Do I think that you will sustain those gains? Probably not. I don't think so. I mean, these things just come and go. So, it's nice, but people that are selling things that they've been in for so long just because the price goes up are going to do it when something else goes up. So I don't think it's going to be. And I don't think it's going to peg to $1. But hey, who knows? Yeah, I know someone who's buying the meme coins on on Solana. A lot of people are doing that. So Pulse Chain is having its own meme coin thing. But yeah, that's really what's going on. We need a centralized exchange of these things. That'll happen starting with the small exchanges and then move on to the large ones. And an SEC victory could really accelerate that process. But yeah, I mean, that's really overall what's going on. Hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving. Got a nice viewership, 163 viewers, which is great. So appreciate you guys all tuning in. Hope that you're subscribed and liked this video. Would like to do another stream in the near future and would like to do it with someone else. I think that haven't had a guest here in a while. So gonna work on that. If you want to be on the stream and you're a content creator, DM me on Twitter. But yeah, just I'm gonna keep on accumulating and staking, and that's really the way to go. So have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back in the near future, so it's important you turn on that bell notification because we're not streaming every day at 12 p.m. anymore. It's going to be more at random, so get that notification on. Click that bell under this video, all notifications, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and until next time, have a great rest of your day.